I love Sour Patch Kids. I love dark chocolate. I love salmon. I love pistachios. I love, maraschino cherries and things like that. And so at a con later that year, they brought me a dessert. And it had all of those things on it. Now I get it. It makes sense. Because it makes sense. If I asked you what all of your favorite things were, and I put them all on one thing, that would be awesome. All of your favorite things on one thing should work out. Doesn't work that way. I like salmon. I like boxer briefs. I like video games. I don't want them all on one dessert. And so he brought the dessert, and then he said, here you go. Of course, it was a third of it was already eaten. But you got to taste test it, of course. And so I was like, oh, well, thank you for this. I mean, it looked, you know when Han cuts the tauntaun open? That's what it looked like. But it was very nice. It was the thought that counted, and I was like, it's very sweet of it, because again, he wanted to put all my favorite things in one spot. That's very awesome. As I'm walking away, and it's in a big freezer Ziploc baggy thingy for protection. As I'm walking away, he goes, hey, Todd. And I go, yes? He goes, I'm gonna need that tin back that it's on. So I'm supposed to eat this whole cake in a day, because he gave too many Saturday. I need to finish it by tomorrow, because I gotta give him the tin back. And so I go to my hotel room, and I set it down on there's not a lot of room on the desk and things like that, because I had stuff out and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna set it on the floor real fast. I'm gonna go to my panel, I'll come back, I'll have some of it, and then get the tin to him. When I come back, it's gone. It's completely gone. I don't know if it took off or what happened to it. My only suspicion is that the room service came and threw it away because of, it, again, Han slicing open the tauntaun, that's what it looked like. And it was on the floor. So I can see, it all makes sense. They see something, it's on the floor, throw it away. The reason I say it was room service is because my room smelled really good and the bed was made. So it was either a very considerate thief or room service. And so I go up to him the next day and I say, hey man, listen, I don't have your tin. He goes, you're gonna have to write a letter to my dad about this. I mean, it was like a, I was like, can I just give you the $5 for it and you go buy another one? Like it was like just, he goes, let me talk to him about it. And so he went and talked to his dad and he goes, I'll talk to my dad. You don't have to write him a letter. I'm like, oh, thank you. But I wanted to give him something anyway. So he brought another dessert. And again, his trademark stamp of eating a third of it was all happened again. But this dessert was really good this time. Because I think he was like, you know what? I put all his favorites there, now I'm just gonna give him something, just some chocolate. And it was really good. I love dark chocolate. Now the one thing I don't like is 99% dark chocolate. If you've ever had that, I've suffered it for you, so you don't have to. They sell it, I found it in LA, it's like this big, it's like that thin, and it comes in a little little wafer. And I was like, oh cool, that couldn't be that bad, a $10 piece of chocolate, it must be pretty good. And it was one of the worst chocolate experiences I've ever had in my life. It's right up there with when this chocolate golem tried to kill me. That's where that experience is. And it was very strange. I still have, I ate one bite, I couldn't even finish it. It absorbed all the moisture in my mouth. It was like, Parasite from Superman, how he absorbs powers. It was in my mouth going, absorbing all the saliva in my mouth. It was very strange. Anyway, next question. Yes?
So if you were trapped on an island, what character that you played would you not want to be trapped on the island?
Probably Apos from Rin. I would not want to be trapped on an island with him. A lot of times he also gets very naked. And that would just be a bad sunburn for him. And then also he's very evil. So probably not him, because I'd be like, okay, Apos, we need to ration out this food. And he's like, oh, perfect. What's that over there? And he'd eat all of it. Then I'm stuck. And then I'm sunburned. Yes.
You played a lot of different characters, so I was wondering, what character did you have the most fun being?
Oh, most fun characters I've ever gotten to voice are two. Sergeant Frog, and it was a fun one. And then Natsu from Fairy Tale. Man, in Puerto Rico, they love Fairy Tale. Wow, they love Fairy Tale. These guys came up, 6 dudes came up, and they were huge men of steel. Came up here, and I was like, do I owe you money for some gambling debt that I wasn't aware of? And they come up to me, all 6 of them. Dude, we love. And I was like, okay, all right. And they're strong. It's so funny because he's huge, strong, and then little stick man Haberkorn is right there with them. But they wanted me to sign all their Fairy Tale stuff. It was pretty cool. It was awesome. Let's see. Yes, ma'am.
If you were trapped in any of the animes that you played in, if you were trapped in one of them, which one would you rather be trapped in?
If I were trapped in any anime that I've played in, which one? I would want to be trapped in. The world of Baccano, because then I could get some of that elixir and live forever. That's what I would want to do. Or on High School Host Club. Oh yeah, super carb. Okay. What's your sister's name? Zoe. Where is Zoe? Why is Zoe not here? Is it? She's in Fargo. How far away is that from here?
4 hours.
North Dakota.
4 hours?
Yeah, North Dakota.
If she started walking Tuesday, she would have been here. Super pasta! Sometimes I love doing that on Google Maps. I love picking 2 points that are completely far apart and clicking to see how far it would take to walk there. And then I wonder if Google Maps is like, ooh, we've got a Superman on our hands. Yes.
What is your favorite line from When the Brothers Fight in Oregon?
My favorite line from When the Brothers Fight in Oregon. Gosh, you know, I wish I could remember actually, because what happened was when we premiered that show, we premiered it in 2008, and I had not seen the scripts since like 6 months before that. And when I did see the scripts, I saw them one time, and only my line, and only for like 15 seconds. So I don't remember. The only thing that I do remember is that I loved it when we colored our hair.
People said your mama wears too much makeup.
Oh yeah, my mama. You know what? Actually, my mother does not wear too much makeup. Actually, she doesn't. When I was a kid, I used to like sit next to her when she put her makeup on. I'm an only child. I was like, well, I wonder what that's like. And so like I took like some of her stuff and I'd like try it on. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I was a little boy, and then I got to the lipstick, and the lipstick looks like candy. Doesn't taste like candy. I took a bite of it. I was like, but I started chewing it, so you gotta swallow it. Lipstick tastes gross. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your insides may look pretty, but it's gonna taste gross going down. The girl manhandling the Sailor Moon. My favorite line from Brotherhood is any time where I make fun of Ed. What's that? Oh, there's an Ed right there. Oh, you know the Ed I'm talking about, though. The manana.
Oh my God, yeah.
Victor Manana. It's cool. We get to work out together every now and then, and he always wants to play racquetball. Now, like one time I played him in racquetball. He plays all the time. I haven't played racquetball in like 15 years. And so like he goes, okay, let's play some racquetball. And so I'm like, okay, we'll play a little racquetball. And so we go in there and play, and he's like destroying me, of course, because I haven't played in 15 years. He's like, oh yeah, that was a win. I got it. I haven't played in like 15 years. Of course you're gonna beat me. But he chalked it up as like this bona fide victory. And it's so funny. He's such a little kid sometimes with like competitive. He's like, la la la, I beat you. La da da da. Anyway, let's see. Against the wall, yes sir.
What's your favorite line from Soul Eater?
Favorite line from Soul Eater is probably, whoops, my finger slipped. Yes, ma'am.
Do your family and friends follow your career and watch the anime that you're in?
Do my family and friends follow my career? You know what's funny is, the people that I have to push the hardest to watch stuff are my family and friends. The people closest to me don't want to watch anything. My mother actually, so this is, it's taken a couple years, but my mom, she's a doctor, and she came from very tumultuous times growing up. And so she, you know, in Vietnam, doing any kind of entertainment stuff and things like that, not respected at all. In the Asian community, it was just not. And so and also she was a doctor, and she used to work in sweatshops, and she was like hard living. And so she came up and she paid her way through medical school, and she was this really awesome force of will, and she created her own destiny and dominated. And she's awesome. She just celebrated her her 1 year anniversary for retiring, actually, at like 54, something like that. But she's awesome. She's been through hell and back. And so when I said I wanted to go into entertainment, of course, she thought I should go into business. Because my family, for example, my great uncle, he bought a dentistry practice for his 2 kids, and bought them houses and cars and all this kind of stuff. And he goes, we're gonna work the front desk of your dentistry. And he made them be dentists. They didn't want to be dentists. And then he goes, we're gonna screen your future wives. And so he made them have arranged marriages and stuff. So that's the family I come from. So here I am, like, you know, wanting to go into entertainment and things like that. But she supported it. She always supported it in her, like, Asian way. And, like, when I say Asian way, for those of you that feel me out here, like, this is a compliment from my mother. Good job, son. That's it. Like, I could have just stopped the oil rig from crushing the helicopter and just succeeded in that. She goes, good son. Like, that's it. So it's not like on the Caucasian, the German white side of my family, they're like, oh man, that's awesome. Oh, that's great, Todd. Let's go buy you a planet. And that's really good. My mom is like, well, why didn't you do this, son? Why did you do? It's like, and so it took her some years to get used to the fact that I was going to be in this industry and stick it out. And they finally came to their first convention ever last year, or I think the year before. They came to SoccerCon, but 2 years ago. It was their first convention ever, and they finally got it. They understood, like, okay, he may make it in this industry. We'll see. And so, but one thing that they did was there was an 18-up panel. And they wanted to see everything. They wanted to do everything and see everything at this convention. And I go, you can see anything you want, but just don't come to this 18 and up panel, please. And so my stepdad, he goes, oh, well, we'll be there. He's from like Mississippi, so he's like, oh, yeah, well. And so he looks like Gandalf. He really does. He has like a long goatee, long hair, and he's like, oh, well, Todd, we're going to come to your panel and check out your 18 and up panel. And I go, you guys really don't have to. So then when it comes time for the panel, who's sitting in the second row? Mom and stepdad. And so as we're going through the panel, I'm doing what those panels do, and my mother's just... But my stepdad's like... hippie. Anyway, so... yes, ma'am.
Hi, my sister couldn't come because my mom thinks she's too young.
Does anyone have brothers that could come? And what about sisters that could come? Okay, so you are out there. Anyway, sorry, continue.
She loves Steph the Kid. And
She didn't love him that much, she would be here. I'm joking. So what's her name?
Chasen.
Chasen?
Yep.
Okay. And where is she at?
She's in Iowa.
Iowa? Okay.
Go Iowa!
She lives there? You guys live apart?
Yeah, we came from Iowa.
Oh, you came from, how far away is that?
4 hours away.
Nice. So when you were coming, you just had to get here. She was ready to actually come. And you're like, well, sorry. We already left.
My mother won't let her come because she thinks she's too young.
How old is she?
12.
What?
How old are you?
19.
I don't know. I would have. Has she ever been to a con? Has your mom ever been to a con?
No. She don't
That's probably why. Your mom doesn't know what. Yeah, she probably doesn't. She doesn't see what what goes on. And she thinks that there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes down. I get that. I understand that. That's cool.
But can you shout on garbage, unsymmetrical garbage for her?
Sure. Ready?
Yep.
Jason, I have a special message for you. Oh, I'm asymmetrical garbage. Liz, Patty. Let's go. Let's see. Yes, Italy.
What's your favorite part in Hetallia?
Favorite part? Oh, the song at the end, the Japanese rhythm. That really fast.